Countdown. Hello, I'm Willie Bragg, host of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm glad to be here to share some online left drama. It keeps resurfacing. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment because, as I said, the online left, the tits and tats and the drama and the egos involved or what have you. It's hilarious. And, well, let's go back almost a decade. I can't believe I'm saying almost a decade because 2015 seems like almost a decade at this point. And yet it seemed like yesterday. It was the Bernie Sanders campaign for president, the first time Bernie Sanders ran, and it seemed like there was the online left seemed to have a little bit of cohesiveness, a little bit of unity. Yeah, the Young Turks. My gosh, the Young Turks, the network that I make fun of today. I was a Young Turks addict back in 2015, 2016. I was a Young Turks fan until this past summer, and even in the last year or so, it's been actually in the last 2 years the Young Turks have been kind of going downhill. But they're horrible now for damn sure. But in 2015, the Majority Report with Sam Seder, the Jimmy Dore Show, and the Rubin Report were all part of the Young Turks. They were all affiliates of the Young Turks. And we know some of the others, the David Pakman Show, Michael Figueredo's, the Humanist Report, the Secular Talk, Kyle Kalinske Show, Ring of Fire. You name it. They were all orbiting around the Young Turks, and as an affiliate, and Dave Rubin's program, the Rubin Report, parted ways with the Young Turks. And there's been debate as to why he decided to leave initially, but I do not believe that Dave Rubin started out with the intention of grifting toward the neoconservative movement conservative that he is today. I think he was trying to do his own niche, and somebody offered him some cash because they saw potential, and I think that he decided to go with this grift. And rumor has it that he was always wanting a TV show or something like that. He used the Young Turks as sort of a stepping stone to getting on. I think he wanted to be. My understanding, he was influenced by Larry King and all of that. But anyway, so yeah, the Rubin Report parted ways in 2015. And weirdly enough, he was a Bernie bro initially, and then he became, toward a libertarian direction, and now he's in Trump land territory. Really sad. But anyway, Jimmy Dore also split in 2019, and Jimmy Dore, in my view, instead of going rightward, he went leftward. And then but there's debate of what kind of where is Jimmy Dore on the political spectrum. Some will say he's further right today. He went into the right wing. Some would say he shifted far to the left, and he's basically a tankie. And so I've heard both. it's like there are people out there. There are even people that think he somehow turned right wing and a tankie at the same time. Believe it or not. I mean, and then Sam Seder remain, even though his program's no longer with the Young Turks. The Majority Report still orbits around the Young Turks, ideologically speaking. But the difference between Sam Seder and the Young Turks is that Sam Seder is smarter than Shane Ugert and smarter than Anna Kasparian. That's not an amazing feat, by the way. But the thing about it is, my personal view, and I'm going to talk about Sam Seder for a moment here. So let's do this. Sam Seder. Do I like this? Do I like Majority Report? Overall, even though Sam Seder is kind of a shit lib, I would say he might be possibly the best of the shit libs. I mean, I certainly respect him more than I do the Young Turks. He's a little bit better than David Pakman, although I do sort of think David Pakman and Sam Seder is in the same territory. Very MSNBC, very MSNBC, very that sort of thing. And the thing about it is that I would say that Sam Seder is a little bit better than David Pakman and a little bit better than the Young Turks, but he's not as good as, let's say, a program like Kyle Kalinske or what's his name, Jordan Sheridan of the Status Quo, or programs like that. That's better content. So I mean, I would say he probably has more good takes than bad takes. My problem with Majority Report is, well, I'm going to say it like it is. I don't like Emma Voegtlin. I just don't. Never really liked her. She just, I don't know, just something about her. I just don't like her, and I don't like Nomiki Kuntz either. What was good about Majority Report was Jamie Peck. I actually like Jamie Peck. And I like the late Michael Brooks. So, as I said, Majority Report is a wash for me. There are some good things and some bad things I can say about Majority Report. But here's the thing that gets on my nerves about Sam Seder. He is obsessed with Dave Rubin and Jimmy Dore. I mean, it's like 2-3 times a week is, the latest from Jimmy Dore or the latest from Dave Rubin. Now, the Rubin Report sucks today. It absolutely sucked. Because the grift that Dave Rubin would take, the Dave Rubin grift, and I don't have a problem with Dave Rubin having, even though I can't stand Ben Shapiro and I can't stand Steven Crowder or Dinesh D'Souza or any of those folks, Dennis Prager, I don't have a problem with him interviewing them and being fair in an interview. But I always hated seeing Dave Rubin be like, I am one of the good liberals, and you are correct. While everybody who are supposedly on my side on the left are all evil and icky and I'm just like, ugh. And he doesn't invite progressives on the show anymore, not at all. So that's my problem with Dave Rubin. And hold on a second here, because this is relevant when talking about Dave Rubin and Jimmy Dore. Let me do this here, because graphics are very important. All right, let me do this here. Okay, all right. Now, with regard to Jimmy Dore. Now, there are people who thinks that I am like a massive fan of Jimmy Dore, and I just absorb everything he has to say. Now, do I like Jimmy Dore better than Sam Seder? Damn skippy I do. Do I like Jimmy Dore better than the Young Turks? Damn skippy I do. Because Jimmy Dore, in a lot of ways, is the Young Turks from pre-2016. Whereas the Young Turks are now MSNBC Light or CNN Light. Or something like that. MSNBC made for hipsters. That's what the Young Turks is to me. And the thing about it is that for my ideological tastes, I'm more in the Kyle Kalinske camp, but I would say that my program is so to the left of Kyle Kalinske, and maybe I don't want to say to the right, but I would say to the right of Jimmy Dore and to the left of Kyle Kalinske. That's where I sort of see myself, ideologically speaking. I think that Kyle Kalinske is too hung up on the Democrats for my liking, and that bothers me. And but his approach toward Bernie Sanders and his approach toward the squad is just right. It's kind of like, they're the best we have, and we got to work with what the best we have, but they need to be criticized when they deserve to be criticized. Whereas Jimmy Dore, when he looks at Bernie Sanders or looks at AOC, he sees Mitch McConnell. And when the Young Turks or Sam Seder looks at Bernie Sanders and AOC, they could do no wrong. And how sad is it? Me being the first online Bernie bro back in the 1990s, criticizing the Young Turks for being too pro Bernie Sanders. But that's the kind of world we live in today. And let me do this really quick here, because I got to do this. Okay. I'm going to go and play a video real quick from the Majority Report. Jimmy Dore reunited with Dave Rubin for advanced grifting and leaving the left is the name of the video. So let me do this here, and I'm going to put it on fast speed because I would like to share what is said in the video. So let me do this here real quick. Avoid that echo. I hate it when I accidentally have an echo in the background. Ruins my day. Let's see here. Let's do the speed. And we're going to go. And I may put a little faster. So just bear with me for a moment, please. Okay. All right. And here we go.
Things about the holiday season as people come together. And
don't piss it on my back.
That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Yeah.
You may connect with somebody that
It's
you hadn't thought that bridge was burned. That's what things are all about, right?
so sweet
Holidays.
that people can find each other in this world where sometimes we feel like we're isolated. Sometimes we're sitting in our $1 to $3 million, really $2 to $3 million, I guess, houses in the Hollywood Hills. We're just pumping out disinformation to make money, and we're feeling like I'm alone. Who can I reach out to? That's what makes this clip so very, very special. It's a season where not just friends and family come together, but grifters do too. Dumb grifters. Play the video.
Oh,
Every day,
I hate the ads. I'm so sorry about that.
Personally, I like Jimmy. We lost touch for a couple of years. We've connected a little bit lately. I know we have some political differences, but nobody really cares about that. So we went out for dinner a little while ago.
That's right. For Jimmy, it's not about political differences. It's about how do you maximize platforms when you're moving from the left to the right. Where are the opportunities for me to increase my
Do some deals.
yes? Really excited about this.
That Blaze money spend well?
There's one person who certainly understands the path. I mean, sometimes you need a mentor, right?
That's right.
Like,
He's my sensei. Sensei Rubin. Throw out those shit lips. You're a classical lip, so I like a class lip. So there it is, folks. It's so sweet. I've watched that clip so many times.
I mean, we said it. We said, or I know I said it on the show, like, he is doing I never thought it would be this brazen, but he's actually doing it. He is becoming a why I left the left.
I mean, that's also a really cynical
Dave Rubin
take,
type.
Emma, because don't you think that sometimes it's possible for you to look at a guy like Dave Rubin and go, hey, he seems like a great guy, smart. I'd like to hang out with that guy.
I mean, at the very least.
So could they just be old buddies reconnecting? But you have to bring politics into everything.
Like, yeah, I'm not even making friends with people in media who I share politics with.
Exactly.
Like, why?
Dave Rubin could be calling for postal banking every day on his program. Dave Rubin could be saying that we need to increase Social Security and expand Medicare and have single-payer health care.
He could have a torch show and you wouldn't want to hang out with him.
He could be talking about, like, corporate malfeasance and you could not pay me. There's not enough money. He could sign over his deed to this house, and I wouldn't go out to dinner with that guy.
Yeah, Sam, but you will talk about Dave Rubin till the end of time. Let me go on.
At least not in such a way that he'd want to talk about afterwards. Because it would be so uncomfortable for him. He would never admit that he went on dinner with me.
It's interesting why Jimmy didn't reveal that information.
Yeah.
He wants his transition to be a bit more seamless.
I'm sure they would have been buddies back in the day if it wasn't for this.
Oh,
YouTube.
right. Yeah. I'm curious. I don't even know the story. I don't think they hung out too much.
Well, but it also, you're so cynical, Emma. It could be not that Jimmy, just like sees a guy he wants to hang out with buddies, but maybe he's building a popular front because maybe Dave Rubin supports. Oh, maybe Dave Rubin supports the same things that Jimmy does that are on the left.
The anti-vax stuff, yeah.
No, that's not on the left.
Oh.
Marriage equality. I mean, maybe they both support marriage equality.
Does Jimmy have really an opinion one way or the other on marriage equality?
I mean, I remember when he brought the Bugler Boys on, he said they're for gay rights.
Well, that's not
right.
Well, yeah, because that's useful. I mean, he doesn't really think gay people are part of the working class or black people or anything like that. Mostly his perception of working class is guys that look like me, former cops, that kind of thing.
Yep.
White guys. That's what makes his brain
But
leftism
the
so
point
tantalizing to the right.
Don't be so cynical, Emma. That's all I'm saying. You're being cynical about it, and I think it's sweet.
Yeah, you're right.
People are coming together. YouTube doesn't always radicalize. Sometimes it brings people together. That's my point.
I'd love a conversation between those two.
I would love to
I would
know.
love to hear that conversation. That would be great. I'd love to hear it, not the one that they're going to ultimately do on their shows, but like the dinner conversation.
I just really admire what you've done post TYT, and I want my career to look like yours.
You know what would really bum me out?
And Ruben's dumb enough to fall for any kind of flattery too.
Okay, I agree with that.
I mean, it would bum me out. I'm gonna be totally upfront about this, and I know the Jimmy stands and the doorknobs and the Rubin Blaze acolytes are gonna have a field day with this. But I'm gonna be honest.
Quoting Tim Black,
I would be really bummed to find out that in any of the conversations they've had, they never say the words "Sam Seder's a fucking asshole,"
Oh, 100% they brought.
or an effing dick, or a loser, or whatever. I mean, if they're not disparaging me at least once in their conversations, I feel like I haven't done my job. But I don't know if we'll ever know.
Well, but you probably otherwise loom like a, what do they call it, the thing you want to address in a conversation?
The elephant
The elephant in the
room.
room, yeah. Can we talk about
No,
it?
and I'm including, if he says that guy with the MSNBC contract, I'm still including that.
Yeah, no, that counts.
That counts.
But he may not. I mean, he may compartmentalize the humiliation.
Or he may do, Jimmy might do what he does on, it could be Jimmy and Dave both do what they've done on their shows.
Edit
where
out the
Jimmy says,
conversation.
like,
Yeah.
oh, you know that guy? He's an asshole. And then Ruben goes, oh, no, is a jerk. No, is a jerk. That's what he, All right, let's go to some IMs. Ban and sell night. I was told over Thanksgiving by family that the Democrats are controlling the price of mozzarella in order to punish Republican Italians. It was said completely seriously. I've been laughing ever since. That's terrifying. Don't know if you saw this, but Tim Heidegger did a Joe Rogan parody that's so spot on, Spotify should sign Tim. Look, let me tell you something. I saw clips from that. It's on Twitter. And I was one of the first people, I want to brag, but knew how toxic Tim Heidegger is. And was calling him out a long time ago. And toxic to all of it. It's country, society, parts of the universe. And so I just want credit for that. People should check that out. It's disgusting, the stuff that Tim's putting out there. Lies about there's some truth to the crab salts. That's the only thing I want to say. There's some truth to the crabs emitting a salt when they're captured that it can actually help protect you from COVID. But aside from that, the rest of this stuff is just incredible disinformation.
Okay, let's see. All right. Let me add this to it. When I see when I see Sam Seder, you know what he reminds me of? Do you remember the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Yeah, back in the 1980s. The Ben Stein character is the teacher. Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. It's like watching a young Ben Stein waving a DSA membership card. That's what I think of when I think of Sam Seder. It's like if Ben Stein was in his 40s or 50s and he was a member of DSA instead of being the neocon piece of shit that he is, he would remind me of Sam Seder. But here's the thing. Commenting on Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin possibly being friends. Who gives a shit? Really? I mean, I don't like Dave Rubin, but do I care that Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin are friends? I don't care. But if we're going to go and let's go with this scenario, that just because they're friends doesn't mean that they're going to agree with everything with each other. They're going to agree with each other. I mean, look at Jimmy Dore and look at Dave Rubin. Look at their ideology in the year 2021. You could find two different people. I mean, they both were progressive on the center left when they were all with the Young Turks. Dave Rubin became a neocon. Jimmy Dore, I mean, and I'm not saying this in a pejorative way, but Jimmy Dore shifted leftward. He's almost a tankie. That's the difference between Dave Rubin and Jimmy Dore. Now, do I care that they're friends? I don't care that they're friends, but let's talk about ideology. Emma Vagelin mentioned something about LGBTQ. Well, you know what? But I mean, Dave Rubin is a gay guy. Now, he may become straight as part of his grift, but Milo beat him to that. But he's a gay guy, and so what if he's a conservative? I mean, I don't like the fact that he's a conservative. I don't like it that anybody's a conservative, but so what? I mean, just because you're a conservative doesn't mean you can't belong to a marginalized group. Dave Rubin is a gay guy. He's wrong, not because he's gay. He's wrong because he's a conservative. Ben Shapiro is wrong, not because he's Jewish. He's wrong because he's conservative. Candace Owens is always wrong, not because she's African American. It's because she's conservative. Stephen Crowder is a piece of shit conservative. Well, in Stephen Crowder's case, he's just a piece of shit. Now, I mean, look at another area where they're going to disagree harshly. I mean, Dave Rubin is a neocon Zionist. Jimmy Dore is anti-Zionist as hell. They're not even in the same universe as far as being friends. If you're going to tie your conflicting views and make that as part of the hard bargain of a friendship. Now, here's the thing about it. People can have different views and still get along. I mean, for example, I have friends to my right who are libertarians. I have friends to my left that are Marxist-Leninists. I am neither a libertarian, especially when it comes to economics. I'm not a Marxist-Leninist. And I'm good with those who are libertarians, and I'm good with those who are Marxist-Leninists. I have friends who are in the Tea Party. I have friends who are Trotskyites. I am neither a Tea Partier, and I'm neither a Trotskyite. Or Trotskyist, I'm sorry. Trotskyite is kind of a slur. I am not a conservative, and I'm not a communist. I have conservative friends, but I'm not a conservative. I have communist friends, and I'm not a communist. So, I mean, you can have different points of view, and it's all good. Now, are there limitations? Of course. I mean, if somebody was a fan of Adolf Hitler, I would never, ever, never in a million years want to be friends with somebody who admires Adolf Hitler on the extreme right. At the same time, I would never, ever want to be friends with somebody who looks at Pol Pot, who killed over 1 million people in Cambodia. I would never want to be friends with someone like that. That's the difference, And just as I said, I mean, I'm just, I would, those are, I mean, I just have my limitations. We all do. Now, David Pakman and Crystal Ball separately said on each of their shows that they met Sean Hannity in person. And they said while they disagreed with him politically, when he's not talking politics, he's apparently a very nice person. And that's very generous of both David Pakman and Crystal Ball because, let's face it, Sean Hannity is a piece of shit. There's nothing about Sean Hannity that's redeemable. And I'm not being partisan because I could say the same thing about Wolf Blitzer of CNN. I despise Wolf Blitzer every bit as much as I despise Sean Hannity. Just as when it comes to morning shows, I despise The View as much as I despise Fox and Friends. So you see where I'm going with this? So, just listening to Sam Seder preaching about Dave Rubin and Jimmy Dore being friends as if that was such a terrible thing. I mean, my God, I mean, there are, more important things to talk about. But while Sam Seder is kind of okay, depends on what he's talking about. To obsess yourself 3 or 4 times a week on a commentary about Jimmy Dore or a commentary about Dave Rubin. Please, if Sam Seder's listening to this, please, I mean, just expand, honestly. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that. I'm about ready to go, but I'm going to give a shout out to my very busy chat line. I love busy chat lines, by the way. I'm going to start with Hot Retarded Chicks. Good morning to you too. I'm glad to see you here. Radical Leftist Agenda. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I'm not able to go every night on your Twitch stream, but whenever I get up and I see your Twitch stream program going on, I make damn sure I watch it. So I'm glad you do what you do. Is one of my favorite parts of the internet days. And let's see. But now Jamie, the communist, has her podcast behind the paywall. Yeah, I would love to see that program that she has. Yeah. And Les Bones, how are you today? Let's see. Jamie's good. Let's see. Invalid, how are you today? Let's see. And I see somebody else here. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, Hot Retarded Chick said they just wants to be reasonable. Yeah. No, he's a grifter. Just wants to play. Let's see. Let's see here. Kate. Let's see. Who's Kate McCoy? Whoever Kate McCoy is. Oh. Yeah, hello, how are you doing, Kate McCoy? Let's see, scrolling, and let's see. Yeah, Kate, Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin were all part of the Young Turks. Back in the day when the Young Turks was good. Sam Seder has no friends. Well, Sam Seder has no personality sometimes. He'll put you to sleep. If you want to go to sleep, well, Sam Seder is a good way to cure insomnia. The more foul language you use, the more anti-Zionist you are. Yeah, the whole Zionist thing, really crazy. The religious right, evangelicals who are anti-Semitic as hell in a lot of cases, for some reason, loves the Jewish state of Israel. They just hate the Jewish people that lives there. Let's see. Yeah, Hitler was bad news. Definitely. Let's see. Looking through here. All right. Listen, everyone, I am glad all of y'all were here today, and it's always a pleasure, to see such a busy chat line. I bet Sam You know what, Les Mons, I think you probably would be right, and I stopped listening to Rachel Maddow. Stopped listening to Rachel Maddow. On election night, 2016, when she had her little meltdown, she was crying on the air, and I was thinking to myself, "This is just absolutely bonkers," you know. So anyway, yeah, I just, it's sad. But anyway, I am about ready to go. I got to pick up some prescriptions because I'm an old man that needs his blood pressure medicine. And I will see you all very soon. Okay, everyone. Oh, Jamie Nix. Hey, how are you today? I just did a fairly long stream, and I'm about ready to sign off. But if you scroll it back, you'll hear my ranting for the last 30 some minutes. So, anyway, I am about ready to end this stream. Everyone, love you all. I'm about ready to take care of some things and get some sleep. So, see y'all all next time.